This is supposed to be a pumpkin and it's got chocolate stracciatella or chocolate strands on top. These still taste reasonably fresh. That's the top. Isn't that fabulous? A piano keyboard. That keeps the drink hot. And then there's a sweet melody there on the main mug itself. I have anyway something really exciting to show you. Yes folks, Dan bought me this for my birthday. He pre-ordered it. It was on my birthday wish list. These are $17.95 normally for the H box, which is a half box. So these were $12.95. I do like chocolate, it makes me very happy. Grande Rising everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Well, we're in the month of October. It's Friday the 3rd of October 2025, and I'm going to try one or two treats and show you one or two things as part of New to Me, hosted by Kimmy's Kitchen and more. Anyone can take part in New to Me. All you do is write in the title or description hashtag New to Me and tag at Kimmy's Kitchen and more, so we can come and see what's going on with you and your things that are new to you. At least they don't need to be new. This is the first time I have done New to Me on this, my main channel. Of course I've done a few over on my other channel at Cat Evans Life, but today it's all about my cuisine, or at least trying other people's cuisines. I have here some Pop Dots. These are little Halloween themed donuts. I bought these last night from the yellow ticket basket at my local co-op. These are normally £1 and they cost me 46p. So I'm going to give these a go. It seems that these may have been defrosted. It says defrosted ready to eat bakery with 27% coating and 10% topping. So we've got wheat flour, vegetable fats, which include palm kernel, coconut, sugar, water, milk, whey powder, vegetable oils, sunflower and palm, cocoa paste, dextrose, lactose, milk, yeast, cocoa butter, starch, fat, reduced cocoa powder, soya flour, raising agents E450 and E500, salt emulsifiers E471, E481, E322, colours E168A. I can't read the other one, the label has taken it away. It may contain traces of nuts, egg, mustard. There's also wheat and milk as your allergens. So we've got per 100 grams, 478 calories. So go easy if you're going to eat these. Fat is 30 grams, of which saturates are 18 grams, carbohydrate 44 grams, of which sugars are 24 grams, protein 7 grams, and salt 1.3 grams. So they're not exactly healthy. And these are imported by Europastry SA. So I presume that's Spain. Kieran House, 53 Park Royal Road, Park Royal, London, NW10 7LQ, United Kingdom. And the weight of this pouch is 95 grams. The packaging is recyclable, and these are indeed manufactured in Barcelona. Hope you can read that there. Anyway, I'll give them a try. There's 5 Pop Dots in here, So normally they would be 20p each roughly, but these were under 10p each. Here we go. They're still nice and squidgy. It's a shame that they haven't been baked in-house, because the Co-op does do a lot of in-house bakery. This is supposed to be a pumpkin, and it's got chocolate stracciatella or chocolate strands on top. They still taste reasonably fresh. That's the crumb. I don't mind them at all where the flavour's concerned. They're a little on the sweet side. They're rather calorific and they have a lot of additives, and I'm not good with additives, so I'm only going to have the one. No doubt Dan will enjoy them. They're pleasant enough, but I'd rather have a jammy donut, to be honest. They're a bit gimmicky. I suppose they'd go down well at a children's Halloween party, but remember, your kids are likely to be a bit hyperactive after all those E-numbers. They're all the same colour, all orange, with those chocolate strands on. I think I would probably give those about 6.3 out of 10. They'd be alright at a Halloween party. I don't like the E-numbers. Far too many. They're slightly dry, but then they are from the clearance, but I would have thought they would have stayed a bit fresher than that. I don't really like the fact that they've been imported, because Co-op usually make their own. The packaging is attractive enough, but it's not really about the packaging, is it? It's about the bite-sized authentic pop dots with dark sprinkles. The pop dots are a registered trademark. They're okay. 6.3 out of 10. I'm a bit of a donut queen and I have a discerning palate, and I've had a lot better. I think what was produced last year was probably a little better. I haven't seen anything else yet from the Halloween range, so I need to see if there's anything else that comes out that I can compare last year to, but at the moment it's a 6.3. I'll set that aside, we'll see what happens. So let's get on to other new things. This fantastic music themed mug was a gift to me from my mill. We went to Herne Bay last weekend. We went to the Cozy Cat Cafe because, you know, I'm a mad cat lady. And afterwards we went in a charity shop across the road, and my mill noticed this music themed mug. As you also know, I play music and I do compose from time to time. And I still do it the traditional way, notating by hand on paper. That's the top. Isn't that fabulous? A piano keyboard. I love my piano. That keeps your drink hot. And then there's a sweet melody there on the main mug itself. It's dishwashable, and this was £3, and I've used it a few times and I love it. For once I'm having a normal builder's tea. I have maybe 1 or 2 cups maximum of builder's tea a day. I don't necessarily have a coffee every day, although since it's become a little colder, I've had a cup of coffee most days. I tend to drink herbal tea more though, or water. But that's a very pleasant cuppa and much needed to cleanse the palate after those sickly sweet pop dots. Well, today Dan and I were in Deal and I wanted to go to the No Name Bakery, French bakery. I hadn't been for a while. I normally make my own bread. I have French flour at home, but I've been very busy, and as you know, recently I've had a bit of a bad back. The arthritis has been playing up a little bit, so I thought I would cheat and buy a loaf of French bread. To our dismay, the shop had gone out of business. We met an elderly lady in the street and she was saying that the one in Sandwich has also closed. It's a real shame. I haven't seen anything in the news, not that I look at mainstream media, but I haven't really seen anything in the news. So if somebody knows the circumstances of what happened, then let me know. Otherwise, curiosity may get the better of me and I may have to look it up myself. But I've not been spending that much time on the internet. I want to have a few words about my video scheduling, because as you know, I haven't been putting up as many videos recently. I put up 1 or 2 shorts. September was a bad month because of my back problems. I've gone on to a lower potency of my homeopathic remedies and they seem to be working a lot better. Sometimes the body responds to a lower potency, which can maybe be taken a little more frequently or even not any more frequently, but sometimes the body responds a lot better to a lower potency and it turns out to be a lot more effective. So I had a rather uncomfortable night last night with aches and pains in the lower back, and it wasn't great when I got up this morning, but I took an equisetum this morning and touch wood, I felt a lot better. Now we're in October. This is the busiest time for me in the run up to Christmas with my crafting side, and I also want to write some new music. I have started writing a long piece, but that's not going to be ready for a while longer. It's quite complex because it's another orchestral piece and it's taking some time. I've not really been in the headspace. We've done quite a bit of travelling this year. We've had various things going on. As we do, that's what life is like. And having a think about things, because I've got 2 channels and I also edit Dan's videos for his channel as well, which probably not everybody realises, although he has the final say about what goes into his content. I have decided that I will be going down to 1 video a week for each channel instead of 2. Previously I've done a video for Wednesday and Saturday for my Cat Evans Cuisine channel, this channel, and Thursday and Sunday for my Cat Evans Life channel. So I'm going to remain a little bit flexible because I don't like being confined to exact days of the week each time. So I will be doing 1 a week guaranteed for either Wednesday or Saturday for this channel, and 1 a week for Cat Evans Life on either a Thursday or a Sunday. If I have the opportunity to put more up, then I will do so. Think of it as a bonus, and or maybe some shorts. Indeed, I've put shorts up a couple of days running, just of random thoughts for my Cat Evans Life channel, which is, I suppose, more about everyday life and maybe spirituality, things that are going on in the world, but also maybe crafting or videos like this, things that are new to me, vlogs, maybe trips out and about, that kind of thing. I have done a little bit more filming. I've got another historic recipe coming to you soon, which I hope you will enjoy. And I am going to do a little more filming probably tomorrow and on Sunday. It's just the one video but split into 2 separate days. Easy video. I'm thinking about maybe doing a few more breakfasty type videos that are quite short. Going forward, I'm going to endeavour to stick to maybe 20 minutes max, but probably shorter than that for quite a few of them. Of course, there will probably be a few shorts, you know, if I do food reviews, I'll make it very snappy. So there will probably be some of those. I've got quite a few more historical recipes planned and some other traditional recipes as well. And probably next weekend we will be filming a trip out to a local beer festival, which should be quite good fun. I've decided I'll put that on this channel. Then I suppose in a few weeks' time we need to be thinking about Christmas, so I might bring to you 1 or 2 Christmassy type recipes, homemade gifts, that sort of thing. As you know, I try to concentrate on inexpensive recipes that are nutritious and filling, maybe with a undertone or even overtone of days gone by, because let's face it, all our purse strings are increasingly restricted. Prices keep going up. Even at Wetherspoons for a simple meal, it's getting pricier, and a lot of the food is junk food as well, which I'm not really into. I like nutrition. I have a big interest in nutrition and growing our own fruits and vegetables, as you know, and I've got some exciting things planted and planting projects for over the autumn and the winter. I like spending time outside in the garden. It's really good for my mental health. I do suffer from SAD. I decided this year we would grow more things over the winter. First of all, to save money, and secondly, it's a good excuse for me to spend more time in the garden and hopefully keep some of those blues away. Now in February we were thinking about maybe going abroad to get some sun, but that's not necessarily cheap either. So instead I think we will be going to Blackpool for a few days or possibly a week. Well, where we live in Thanet, it's quite a long journey up north. As you know, I'm northern, most of my family are up north and in Scotland. So we'll probably be up there for about a week, and we'll be planning that in the next few weeks. For February, I'm really looking forward to it already. And hopefully we'll meet up with our friend and fellow YouTuber at Jamie's Rock and Soul. So bro, if you're watching this, we look forward to seeing you again in the not too distant future, and maybe we'll make a trip to the Meow Cat Cafe, which would be great fun. So I hope you understand my reasons for changing my schedules. I am one of those people, being neurodiverse, that I don't cope very well with stress. It gives me anxiety, and I'm doing what I can to keep my vibrations high and continue on my spiritual journey, and part of that is looking after my mental, physical, emotional and spiritual well-being. I did really well today, in fact, because Dan had an appointment at the doctor's to deal with his anxiety, and he wants to get a formal diagnosis for his ADHD, so he set the ball rolling on that. And I actually managed to wait with him in the doctor's surgery. I don't like the low frequency of those places, but I managed. It wasn't easy, but I managed and I got through it, and I was really proud of myself. In the past, I would have probably gone off somewhere for a coffee. The Emporium is just like a few doors down. I would have gone there for a coffee. Instead, I waited until Dan came out. He was there no time at all, really. He didn't have his 10 minutes. And then we went off to the Loft Cafe at the PLE to have a cup of coffee. I have anyway something really exciting to show you. Yes, folks, Dan bought me this for my birthday. He pre-ordered it. It was on my birthday wish list. Where Gary Eats. This came out, I think it was the beginning of this month, around the 1st of October. And it arrived yesterday via Amazon. I don't use Amazon, Dan does. But anyway, I'm very, very happy to have a copy of this book. I did tell Gary in response to one of his recent videos that Dan had pre-ordered it for me, and he said that he hoped that I would enjoy it, and I can't wait to get into it. So it says the ultimate guide to the YouTube star. Gary Eats recommended restaurants. And it says, let's give it a go. It's a lovely book. It sits well in the hands. You don't have to have big hands to hold this book. It's nice and chunky, but not too thick. I've got little hands and I can hold this book quite easily. The first page I've opened to, and I do go there when we go to either Scotland or Cumbria to see friends and family. Tea-Bay services. We have actually been to Tea-Bay. This is the famous Lakeland farm shop that they have had on TV. Not that I watch TV anymore, because I don't. I only watch YouTube. Now, the photography, it's not what you call the ultra high quality, glossy photographs that you see in posh magazines and other media. These are more down to earth, maybe taken with a mobile phone or a digital camera perhaps. They even remind me of photographs one might have taken before the days of digital cameras. There's nothing posh about these photos, they're just down to earth, like the down to earth, good all round gentleman that Gary is. Decent bloke. And I'm assuming that a lot of you know Gary Eats. I remember starting to follow him probably February or March last year, maybe a little later, and he had about 115,000 subs, and now he's well on his way to 400,000 subs. I mean, he's done amazingly well. And he has a elderly mum to look after who has dementia, and he has to sort her care out before he can go anywhere. And he's just announced that he's teaming up with Danny from Rate My Takeaway to form a new channel called Danny and Gary. And this is after he reached out to Danny after the shabby way in which Danny had been treated by his Rate My Takeaway colleagues. That's in the past though, and now Danny can go on to bigger and better things with Gary. They're firm friends along with Greeno, and they also know Dino, so just Dino and more just Dino. At the end, there's always what Gary thought of the place. Now, having had a good look through these, it would appear that they're all the best places that he's been to, because he's had some terrible dining experiences as well, which I'm sure we all have had. There he is, you see, having his pint, bless him. Pub food. So in there you've got things like the farmer's dog. Now, I want to say something about the farmer's dog. Personally, Dan and I went last year and we were not impressed that although Jeremy Clarkson is quite outspoken about government policies and such, at neither the farmer's dog nor the Diddley Squat farm do they take cash, which seems a little hypocritical to me when Jeremy Clarkson is about freedom and yet the milk machine only takes cash. Work that one out. Anyway, I did say something to the staff, it's not their fault, at the Diddley Squat, and I left that in my video last year, and I was criticised by 1 or 2 people. They accused me of being rude, but I was not rude. I was a little outspoken, but I was respectful, and in fact the staff did agree with me that it seemed crazy. Indeed, one of them has spent quite a bit of time in Europe, young lady, I think student, and says, I think it's Belgium, everyone pays in cash. It's not down to the staff. I said, well, perhaps you can have a word with him. And I have also tagged him in posts on X. So if he started taking cash, please do let me know down in the comments. I think it's important to have choice. So here's the farmer's dog in Burford. Now, Dan and I only had a drink at the farmer's dog. I pay in cash for most things because being semi-retired, it helps me keep track of my money better. Dan's self-employed, and because we were on holiday, wasn't earning anything, so we only had a budget. So we went into Burford, and a lot of places there were card only as well, but we did find a really nice cafe that does milkshakes. They seem to specialise in milkshakes, and we had a cheese toastie in there. Very nice it was too. I do like the farmer's dog. I like the way it's been done out, and the food did look delicious, but it was a little chaotic at that time. It was, of course, fairly new, and there were still queues for the dining room, but as we only wanted a drink, we were waved through. We might have bought a Scotch egg or a snack, but we didn't really understand how the system worked, where we queued or anything. It wasn't very clear, and although they weren't exactly cheap, we could afford one of those, but we decided to give a cash-friendly business our money instead. Choice is everything. But I mean, Dan and I have travelled all over the country as well, and we have been to some of these places that Gary has also been to, but there's still plenty more to discover. I'm really looking forward to going up to the northeast of England and the east side of Scotland next year. So we will certainly be maybe popping into Anstruther in Fife, for example, to try the fish and chips, and probably Whitby, maybe Trenches, although I believe the Fisherman's Wife is good, and the Magpie Cafe. Brick Lane. See, I used to work on Brick Lane, and I used to work for a small chain of coffee shops. I was a project manager and PA to the founder of the business, and we had 2 branches. We had one on the corner of Buxton Street, and there was one between the 2 bagel shops, and we also had them on Whitecross Street, Towbridge Road, and we had one on Goswell Road as well, and in Bermondsey Street to be exact. This looks fun, Alexander the Great. So that's Gary's book. So Gary, if you're listening, not that he is, he's got a busy life, and I'm not sycophantic. Well done, mate. and good luck for your future endeavours and adventures. And perhaps I'll see you at some point when the food arrives. Well, this is a slightly longer video than I intended, but today I seem to have plenty to say for myself. These are by Hotel Chocolat, Tipsy Truffles. Now, I have a Hotel Chocolat card and I was entitled to a £5 off voucher for my birthday. These are £17.95 normally for the H box, which is a half box. So these were £12.95. Tipsy Truffles. I'm going to try one. That's nice. That's the list of chocolates. And that one there is gin. The chocolate's nice and rich. Now I also have a New House loyalty card. New House is my favourite brand. I love praline. I go to the one in Covent Garden. I don't get to go there very often, but I still have my Ballerina birthday chocolates waiting for me. I can choose 6 or 7, so I'll be doing that soon. I do like chocolate, it makes me very happy. Preferably dark chocolate up to 70%. Anything more is a little too bitter for me. I've got the bitter taste gene. It is think, actually. Well, those are my things for today. I might try a rum truffle. They look a bit boring, but this is the rum one. I don't drink much, but I do really enjoy a spiced rum topped up with fresh orange juice and some ice. I'm thinking maybe of doing a question and answer video soon. I don't know whether I'll do it as a live. I've not done a live for ages. I've only tried it once. I'm not great with technology. So if you want to ask me some questions, please do. It could be on anything, I don't mind. Drop me the questions and I'll put something together. I know I'm only a small channel, but it's nice to get to know each other. Anyway, I'm off now. I'm doing a homemade chicken burger for Dan to take to work tomorrow. It's Saturday tomorrow and he's going to be out tuning pianos all day. I won't be home till tea time, about 6, half 6. He's going to be out from 8:30, so it's quite a long day. So I need to go to the chicken now. It smells ready. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you like to see out of these items. The PopDots, the book Where Gary Eats, my music mug. I think that's a lot of fun. All these delicious chocolates. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please comment, please share, and please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Ding the notification bell. And I'll see you again soon for the next one. Until then, bye for now.